How are you feeling?
Better now. But who are you? You too are a Renaigse. Why have you freed me?
We were told at Wen Shavar that you and you alone could tell us where to find High King Vinbar.
I wish I knew where he was right now. He bid me farewell weeks ago and he has not returned. I waited a long time and then I came here. To enter into the Cavern of Knowledge.
You believe this is where he's hiding?
No. But he came here often before you saved me. And so...
Let's try to escape without bloodshed. We must get you to a safe place.
Here is the entrance. I hope that Vinbar has left a clue.
Is it your wish to join him?
He is my Manundanem. That means the one who shares my mind in your language. We must be reunited.
I understand. But why protect the entrance to the cavern at the risk of your own life?
The Caverns of Knowledge are truly sacred places.
But you're not a Denegad. Is that right?
I am not. But I must enter in spite of it, even if I am not sure I can trust you. Remind yourself that this honor is in...
Put your fears to rest. We have not... How do we enter?
Allow me. I have seen...
The paint of this fresco is still fresh. It must have been painted recently. It's of a crowned man. Vinbar, no doubt. It looks as if he's walking through the skies towards the volcano. A face has been painted on the volcano.
The spirit of the mountain. My heart did not betray me. Vinbar has...
Was that why you came in here?
To understand, yes. As the years, I thought at first it was due to his status. But now I see that he was hearing... He had no choice but to answer it.
These paintings are older.
He is a Denegad. Becoming an... Vinbar was also bound to the mountain.
If I understand correctly, the Denegad are metamorphs.
Yes. The Sinolminawi bind them to us, but how could a guardian of the plains resemble...
Do you believe that Vinbar is readying himself to undergo this transformation?
For some, it takes years. For others, it might take place the very moment. I hope only to have the...
Given how well hidden this seed was, it must open an important passage. All we have to do is find out which.
This mural is also ancient. This door appears to be in front of a circle of stone.
The Donegada seal certain sacred...
Yes, I've run into similar but here there are two that seem to be different. For one, the flower motifs seem to...
This is possible. This painting must teach the younger how to reach the sacred.
In that case, shouldn't there be an illustration?
The initiates also learn by listening.
On this one, we see a sacred site with raised... We also see the path that leads there.
This must certainly be the path, and the Donegada that...
Do you recognize the place?
I think so. It...
With all that we've learned from studying these paintings, I just hope there's still enough of him left.
What do you hope to ask?
We hope that he will agree to take us into this...
What do you hope to ask of him? My head spins.
Please, go ahead.
I have a feeling we shouldn't have let this woman leave on her own.
Sarah is upset, and I don't think that she trusts us. We should hurry and catch up to her.
This door is locked. Sarah has put us in a very tricky situation.
She did not want us to find Vinbar. Come, these caves often have several exits.
These traps weren't here when we went through with Sarah earlier.
She must have set them to make sure that we wouldn't be able to follow her.
Let's hurry and find this passage to the northern mountain before she decides to come and fight us directly. This is the place which was depicted on the mural in the Cave of Knowledge. In fact, I can't do that.
Finally, we've made it to high ground. Now, let's find this trail to the sanctuary. It can't be far from here. Bloodied feathers.
I wouldn't like to meet the bird they belong to.
Looks like Vinbar must have begun. He will soon become a guardian of the mountains. More of these giant feathers. We're on the right trail. Over there, more feathers. It's not possible just now. More of these giant feathers. We're on the right trail. We found the entrance to the sanctuary. I hope he'll agree to help us. All that remains is... This must be the entrance to Vinbar's sanctuary. But it's obstructed. He knows how to protect his home. A stone altar. It resembles the one that protects the passage to Mev's sanctuary. This must be where I need to place the seed. And here is another altar. Are 2 seeds necessary to open the passage? How can we learn which plant seed is required?
This High King has been living like a hermit for ages. I doubt he's revealed his secrets to too many people.
You're right. We need to find this Sarah. The seed that I have is not enough. I need to find Sarah. She might be able to help. Let's return to the village. Sarah doesn't seem to have returned to her village.
If she came by here after having locked us up in the grotto, she would have warned them. So even if they know where she's gone,
This woman knows the mountains like the lining of her pocket. If she wants to disappear, there will be no finding her. And might I remind you that my first duty is to protect your cousin?
Yes, that's true. We must find Constantine. The High King can wait. This is the camp that Constantine's escort must have established.
It wasn't a landslide that did this, but combat. A deadly one. I sure hope our little governor has escaped the carnage.
Search the zone. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what's happened here. The tents were lacerated by what looks like claws, and there are traces of blood everywhere. Some of these men must have been attacked in their sleep. By beasts? And most of the weapons are missing. Our soldiers wouldn't have taken a rest without defenses. Our soldiers were attacked by surprise, and there were animals among the assailants. However, our men reacted properly. They were armed and they fled as best they could. There are no bodies, and no sign of Constantine or Catasac's presence here. Perhaps they were in another place, and the soldiers wanted to join them. We need to follow the tracks. This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the zone and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Catasac and Constantine were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring. A place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinolmenawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Catasac wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. There are bodies, and without a doubt there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find. The corpses of both men and beasts. These soldiers fought dearly until the end. Neither Constantine nor Catasac are among them. A crater, without a doubt caused by an explosive potion. The soldiers might have been carrying them. They must have been desperate to have taken such drastic measures. This blade is a native ritual knife, and this bowl contained a potion. Someone wanted to perform a ritual here. Could Catasac have found a better means to alleviate Constantine's symptoms? Constantine and Catasac must have been visiting this place. Perhaps performing some sort of healing ritual. When the attack took place, the soldiers intervened, and many fell during the fight. But a group was able to escape down this path. We need to continue following their tracks. More tracks. Footprints. They must have fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched in flames.
More signs of an explosion. I can't believe that our soldiers could be carrying so many explosive potions. These poor soldiers were torn to pieces. Animals again? Or something else? New footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only the corpses of our own men, but where could these other soldiers have come from?
These are coin guard. But I couldn't tell you if they served the Bridge Alliance or Teleme.
More signs of explosions. But what were they doing with all these explosives on them? There are footprints. Only a handful made it up to here. The path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Constantine or Katasach. These rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon fire. What could have happened here? I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's see. According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge in some way be linked to this attack? That makes no sense. These vials look familiar. Katasach used the very same to stock his potions. He must have come here. I'm going to pick them up. I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Constantine, what have you gotten yourself into again? Very well. Let's sum things up. Constantine and Katasach definitely came through here to an attack, obviously. And then there are these traces of...
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack.
Unless he himself was behind it. He is...
How could you even think something like that?
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Constantine captive, he now has leverage to apply to the colonists. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. But regardless of who is guilty, we could return to Xavier to learn. Perhaps Katasach returned there. Or maybe we're also going to have to visit. Their soldiers were involved in the combat, or at least the end of it.
I doubt that the Alliance would have decided to openly attack. Don't forget that they owe their continued presence on the...
And thanks to you, I know. But their men were there, on the cliff. Maybe those men are still loyal to the preceding commander. However, one way or another, let us be on our way without further...
colonials.
Desarde, I'm...
A legate? Here? Pardon my dismay, but we don't... Captain Idris, I am the ranking of... What can I do for you?
I'm looking for Constantin d'Orsay, the island governor of the Congregation of Merchants.
A governor? Here?
My cousin was part of an expedition in this region. His men and his camp were... But we found no trace of his body. Wound...
Have you cast your suspicions in out? We've had neither reinforcements nor supplies for weeks. I wouldn't risk the few lives remaining to attack a governor's camp. I'm not crazy. I'm truly sorry for your cousin, Excellency. But we haven't... The region is dangerous. The natives are...
You do know that we found the bodies of several...
How could you be sure?
One of them was carrying a note, signed by...
And they are dead.
Explain yourself, Captain.
They were monitoring the zone. They were to warn us of any troop movement. We have lost too many men to surprise attacks. Yesterday, we heard screams.
And you didn't go and see... You hear screams, certainly those of your own...
So the last of my men give up their... You can think of me as a coward if you like.
Why do I have the feeling that you're holding something back? I understand what you're feeling. The pain of... The feeling of being abandoned by your leaders. But if you know anything...
I don't know what to tell you, Excellency.
I can see how difficult your presence... I'm certain you haven't been paid either. I cannot solve all of your problems.
A little gold with certain... One of the men...
A survivor?
He wasn't able to say a word. He collapsed. Our nurse sits with him, but his wounds are extremely serious.
I'm sorry to hear that, Captain.
Go and see the nurse. Perhaps can't take it anymore. Anything else?
Concerning...
Did you see the nurse?
Not
really. Anything?
I need...
What are you doing there?
I know. I've come to see the wounded soldier.
That is very kind of him.
What are you saying? Is the soldier...
No, he's still... But I've been asking the captain for weeks to escort me on a mission to replenish. I no longer have... And now that we have a wounded patient, I can only wipe...
Do you know what type of...
Yes, at least I think so.
I see.
Were you able to...
Yes, I was.
Give it to me. I'll take...
Will he make it?
I hope so.
And if he survives?
Come back tomorrow at the...
Very well.
See you soon.
Hello, soldier.
Better. A lot better.
Could you tell me what happened during...
I will try. We were posted up on the peak to follow rebel and we heard sounds of fighting. Men were screaming. Soldiers of the Coin Guard and an islander were trying to protect a young man. He seemed dire ill.
Constantine Katasak and his escort.
Dozens of wild animals. They seemed completely enraged and intent on
Flames?
I don't know. I didn't see everything, but I thought I saw another islander. Big. There was practically no one left on the battlefield. I came to when I heard voices of island. I thought to myself, they're coming to finish. I dragged myself here.
I'm going to have to go and find these...
You shouldn't do that.
That's enough.
Yes, it's best I leave. I'll have a word with your captain.
Excellency, thank you.
Please. I did nothing.
Did you learn what you need?
Yes. I was able to... He and his company heard sound. My cousin's escort were already nearly annihilated by a strange sorcerer controlled them.
One of those rebel savages, no doubt. They must have learned that an important man was in the region.
Don't apologize. I know where the camp can be found and if...
Like you freed the scholars. Thank you again.
I need to be going.
I would very much like to do the same.
Hello.
Renaigse, there.
To speak to you about my cousins. A soldier from the nearby outpost survived and told us that... I know that you see us as your enemies, but we are not. I only seek to find the man I can... as well as the man who was protecting him. Katisach.
No donea exrega.
If you didn't attack him, you must know what... I was told that an islander took my cousin away. Perhaps your men were there to aid them.
We do not have your cousin, and we do not. As for Katasach, that night we heard the sounds of a terrible combat. We went to see. The last breath of Katasach had returned, and many of the Renaigse were dead. We carried the body of the Donegad.
He gave his life to protect Constantine. This request might surprise you, but we would...
Why?
Examine him to understand what killed him. We were told that an island native was there and that he likely...
No donea exrega would attack Katasach.
That is the very reason I need to see his body. To understand...
You may see him.
Katisach. Seeing the state of his body, I hate myself for having suspected him. Forgive me, Donegad, to have doubted your loyalty and even more for what we are about to do. Now then, let's see what story this corpse has to tell. Afra would know how to get information from this body. I'll need to go and find her. Afra would know how to get information from this body. I'll need to go and find her. Here is the body of Katasach. Could you examine it and tell us what you make of his wounds?
Of course. This won't be the first time I've examined a corpse. We note a great number of large, blunt force contusions. covering the entire surface of the victim's body. None of the wounds could be attributed to a blade or a spear, nor are there any visible bullet entry points. Practically every bone has been broken in multiple places. The rib cage was torn open and then collapsed. The open wound reveals multiple perforations of the vital organs. Here, the borders of the wounds have been singed. The flesh is blackened, exposed to a flame, no doubt. And we also note several patches of mineral residue. They seem oddly out of place in spite of the exotic insular origin of our deceased. I would be hard-pressed to tell you which of the wounds proved to be the fatal blow, but one thing is certain.
He was smashed violently by a giant rock that was without a doubt on fire.
Yes. These wounds are similar to those given by a heated cannon shot, though in a less regular fashion.
The dead soldiers we found had identical wounds. As crazy as this may sound, whoever is responsible for this attack is...
In any other circumstance, your conclusion... But I stand on the side of the improbable. The natives' power...
We still don't really know who... Judging by the severity of these wounds.
All your experiments. You've learned so little.
We had to at least try. Are you not even concerned?
We've grown accustomed to the loss of lives. All the same, there is truth in your work. Guardian and Donegad would never attack. There is a ritual that might help us.
The Anatalis Fair.
It is a magical rite that only a person with a powerful bond. It allows the Donegad who chants it to relive.
That would allow us to at least see the...
If what I have heard is true, yes. To my knowledge, only one Donegad.
Let's ask her for her help then.
You are quick to ask another to put... Imagine the pain of the wounds of another, shaking your body. This is what you must ask of the Tiernaha. When her companion was lost in battle, since that day, our
That would explain her
You must make her see your purpose. It...
Hello, Mev.
Renoixe, why have you come here again?
I've come to ask you for help.
My help. You still seek the remedy.
My cousin has been taken, and I've been told that...
Truly? And in what?
By performing the Anatalis Fair on the body of
Katasach is dead. He was a good man. Perhaps the best...
He went with my cousin to a sacred site when they were attacked. My cousin has disappeared, taken, according to a witness. We examined him, and it seemed as if he had been struck.
Fire of the earth. Only then, but none of our own would have attacked.
This is why we need your help. We want to understand and...
Will you leave him alive as well?
What do you mean?
You let the one who tried to kill...
That is true. But I can't yet tell you what I will do to the one... At least we'll have a chance to find Constantine.
Because it is your true reason to act upon... Whatever your reasons deep down, our island wails in... The Anatalas Fair may kill me, but you will need to act as my Voglendaig and bring to me the necessary...
What do you require?
A potion. And listen and remember. Do not forget the viscera of the scavengers, because they contain the... As for the personal object of Katasach, find his way.
He didn't have a weapon when I found his body.
Where can I find him?
In Duren's camp.
Very well. Not far from there is a sacred circle. You'll find... Then we can perform the ritual.
In that case, let's go together to the ritual site. The place...
Very well.
Found the Dara, Grimmer,